Hello everybody, welcome to KPIS Delhi's CARE Initiative, Current Affairs through Reverse Engineering. These are the articles that we'll be seeing today. National Emergency in India and Lok Sabha Elections. So there was an article in the Hindu newspaper and it gives us a glance at the historic elections that have shaped the polity and political landscape of a nation since independence. For us, with respect to prelims, only few things are important and we'll see them here. What is national emergency? It's very important theme for prelims, all right? So the emergency provisions are contained in part 18 of the Indian Constitution from Article 352 to 360. All right. The Constitution stipulates three types of emergencies: national emergency, constitutional emergency, and financial emergency. So, national emergency is what we will see here. All right. National emergency can be declared on the basis of war, external aggression, and armed rebellion. All right. But on the Constitution, we do not have this word national emergency. It is proclamation of emergency. That's it. There's no mention of national emergency explicitly. It says it is proclamation of emergency. This word is not there. Okay. Proclamation of emergency. And what are the grounds for declaration? Under Article 352, the President can declare a national emergency when the security of India, whole of India or a part of it, is threatened by war, external aggression, or armed rebellion. All right. When a national emergency is declared on the grounds of war and external aggression, it is known as external emergency. On the other hand, see, this is external emergency. All right. On the other hand, when it is declared on the grounds of armed rebellion, it is known as internal emergency. And this term armed rebellion is inserted from the 44th Amendment Act. Who can proclaim the emergency? The proclamation of emergency must be approved by both the houses of the parliament within 1 month from the date of its issue. Okay, approval parliament has to do, and president can declare it. Okay, and who can revoke? The proclamation of emergency may be revoked by the president at any time by a subsequent proclamation, and such proclamation does not require parliamentary approval. Okay, that is one point. The other point is the emergency must be revoked if the Lok Sabha passes a resolution by simple majority disapproving its continuation. President, if he is revoking, there is no need to approve. Who doesn't need to approve? Parliament doesn't need to approve. But the revocation must be done at any cost if the Lok Sabha passes a resolution by simple majority disapproving its continuation. All right. And Article 358 and 359 describes the effect of national emergency on fundamental rights. Okay, according to 358, when a proclamation of national emergency is made, the 6 fundamental rights in Article 19 are automatically suspended. And they will be revived automatically after the expiry of emergency. That is 358. And under the Article 359, remedial measures for fundamental rights will be suspended and not fundamental rights per se. Okay, and president is authorized to suspend. That is Article 359. So these are some basics. And national emergency has been proclaimed in the Indian history in 1962, 1971 and 1975. All right. In 1962, why? Because there was war with China. In 1971, war with Pakistan, and in 1975 there were internal disturbances. Now internal disturbances are removed and the word armed rebellion is in place. All right. Now consider the following statements. On Article 352, the President can declare a national emergency when the security of India or a part of it is threatened by war or external aggression only. No, war, external aggression and or armed rebellion, right? So this is wrong. Article 19 is automatically revived after the expiry of emergency. Yes, according to Article 358. National emergency has been proclaimed 3 times in the Indian history, 1962, 71 and 75. Yes. One when there was war with China, next when there was war with Pakistan, and then internal disturbances, now called armed rebellion. Okay, how many of the above statements are correct? 2 and 3 are right. That means only 2 statements are right. Now, if the President of India exercises his power as provided under Article 356 of the Constitution in respect of a particular state, then the Assembly of the state is automatically dissolved. See, first of all, what is this Article 356? It deals with provision of imposition of president rule in a state in case of failure of constitutional machinery of that state, right? So this article empowers the president to take direct control of the state's administration and governance in case of failure of state's constitutional machinery. All right. And whenever there's imposition of 356, it means that the state's governor has reported to the president that there is a situation in which the governance of the state cannot be carried out in accordance with the provisions of the constitution. And this report could be based on various grounds such as state government's failure to fulfill constitutional obligations or breakdown of law and order. Okay, and in such scenario, President of India will take over the administration of the state, and powers of the legislature of that state shall be exercisable by or under the authority of the parliament. This means that the state legislative assembly is suspended and the parliament assumes the power to make laws for the state. Clear? This should be very, very clear. I repeat, when the President of India takes over the administration of the state, the powers of legislature of that state shall be exercised by or under the authority of the parliament. This means that the state legislative assembly is suspended and the parliament assumes the power to make laws for that state. Clear? Now, we'll come back to the question. We'll read option A again. The assembly of the state is automatically dissolved. It is not dissolved, it is just suspended. So this is wrong. The powers of the legislature of that state shall be exercisable by or under the authority of the parliament. This is correct. Okay. So, because we've just seen, right? So, B is the answer. India's first homegrown CAR T-cell therapy for cancer treatment launched. This is not the CAR that you are thinking. CAR has a full form. What is it? It is chimeric antigen receptors. Okay. And T cell is a T cell that is present in our body. Okay. We'll come to the basics of this part, but we'll just know who did this. It was developed by IIT Bombay and Tata Memorial Center. And this CAR T cell therapy will help in curing different types of cancers. And what is the name of this therapy? It is NEX CAR 19 CAR T cell therapy. And it is country's first made in India therapy, a CAR T cell therapy, which will significantly bring down the cost of cancer treatment. Now, what are these T cells? T cells are a part of our immune system and they protect us from infection. Alright, and without T lymphocytes or T cells, it would be life threatening for us because we will be exposed to different kinds of bacteria every day, and T cells will wipe out the infected cancerous cells also. Okay, and they also direct the immune response by helping the B lymphocytes to eliminate the invading pathogens. All right, this is some information about T cells. Now we will come back to this therapy. Now, what is this CAR T cell therapy? See, this is the full form, chimeric antigen receptor. Now, this CAR T cell therapy involves collecting T cells from the patient blood and genetically engineering them to produce special receptors called chimeric antigen receptors. Chimeric antigen receptors on their surface, and these engineered CAR cells can recognize and bind to specific protein target antigens on cancer cells. Okay, so they will have some kind of receptor, and this receptor will go and cling to the cancer cell's antigen. What is antigen? Anything that is causing a foreign particle that is causing harm to our body is antigen, and against antigens we will produce what? Antibodies. Okay, now here we are producing special receptors, and this receptor will go and cling to cancer cells. And what will happen if they go and cling to cancer cells? This binding of CAR T cells to the cancer cells signals the T cells to become activated, and they will multiply and they will kill the cancer cells. Okay, then what is the difference between immunotherapy and this CAR T cell technology? See, immunotherapies boost the overall immune system in general. Okay, but this CAR T cell therapy involves engineering a patient's immune cells to specifically attack cancer cells. So this makes the therapy a type of personalized cell therapy. All right. And the CDSCO, what is this CDSCO? The Central Drugs and Standard Control Organization, which is a drug regulating body, approved this Nexcar 19 for commercial use in October 2023 itself. So this one will treat people who are above 15 years of age and who have B cell cancers. And who developed this one? IIT Bombay and Tata Memorial Hospital, Tata Memorial Hospital, along with ACT Act. And this one is a IIT Bombay incubated company. All right, so these are some basic. This is about Indian scenario. In the US, 2 CAR T cell therapy have already been approved by US FDA. And what are those? Chimera, one is Chimera, that is in 2017, and Escata, that is also in 2017. Okay. Now, consider the following statements with regards to CAR T cells. CAR T cells are designed to identify and attach to particular protein targets found on cancer cells. This is absolutely right. In the USA, 2 CAR T cells therapies, Chimera and Escata, have been approved for certain types of blood cancers. This is also right. See, Chimera was issued to treat acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and Escata for B cell lymphoma. To diffuse this one, this was in place. Okay, so both the statements are correct. Which one of the following statements best describes the role of B cells and T cells in the human body? It was given in 2022. They protect the environmental allergens. They alleviate the body's pain and inflammation. They act as immunosuppressants in the body. They protect the body from diseases caused by pathogens. D. We've just seen in the basics part, right? New generation ballistic missile, Agni Prime, successfully flight test. So this is the context and the news snippet also. Agni Prime ballistic missile was successfully tested by Strategic Forces Command SFC and DRDO from the APJ Abdul Kalam Island off the coast of Odisha. So it is nuclear capable and it is advanced variant of Agni class of missiles, and it has 2 stages. The maximum range is 1000 kilometers to 2000 kilometers, and it is lighter than all the earlier Agni series missiles. This is very, very important. It is lighter. It weighs at least 50% less than Agni 3 missile and has new guidance and propulsion systems. So what is this ballistic missile? They are directly launched into the upper layers of atmosphere, and they can travel outside the atmosphere, okay, where the warhead detaches from the missile and falls down to a predetermined target. They are rocket-propelled self-guided weapons systems which can carry conventional or nuclear ammunitions, okay, and they can be launched from aircraft, ships, submarine and land. This is one type of missile. Now what are cruise missiles? Cruise missiles are guided missiles used against terrestrial or naval targets, and they remain in the atmosphere. Unlike ballistic missiles, which travel outside the atmosphere, these cruise missiles are actually remain in the atmosphere and flies the major portion of its flight path at an approximately constant speed. Okay, so it'll be very difficult for interception by the other countries. And here I mentioned two stages, right? And they are canisterized solid propellant ballistic stages. Okay, and they are equipped with dual redundant navigation and guidance system as per the information given by DRDO. In June itself, the pre-induction flight was carried out. Okay, now consider the following statements. Agni Prime is a two-stage canisterized solid propellant ballistic missile equipped with a dual redundant navigation and guidance system. This is right. Two stage is correct. Solid propellant is also right. So this is the catch. Sometimes they will give you two stage, everything will be fine, but they will give you liquid propelled or liquid propelled missile. That is wrong. It uses solid propellant. Now, short range ballistic missiles function within Earth's atmosphere, whereas intercontinental ballistic missiles embark on a suborbital flight. This is also correct. Now, cruise missiles can travel at subsonic, supersonic, or hypersonic speeds and are difficult to detect by anti-missile systems due to their proximity to the Earth's surface. This is true. So, 1 Mach is equivalent to speed of the sound, which is 343.2 meters per second. So, this is 1 Mach. Any multiple is taken as 2 Mach, 3 Mach, 3 times of sound. Of speed of sound. Okay, so anything less than 1 Mach is subsonic, and equivalent to this one is sonic, and anything greater than that is supersonic, and super greater than that, that's it, then it's hypersonic. All right, so this is also right. How many of the above statements are correct? All the three statements are right. With reference to Agni 4 missile, which of the following statements are correct? Now, it is a surface to surface missile. Yes, it is. It is fueled by liquid propellant only. See, the propellant, they are twisting the statement and giving. Okay, here also there is a possibility. This is not liquid propellant, it is soil fueled system. Not soil, solid fuel system. So this is also wrong. Okay, 2 is gone. Now, it can deliver 1-ton nuclear warheads about 7,500 kilometers away. No, it is not 7,500. It is 4,000 kilometers. Okay, so this is also wrong. So A is the answer because they're asking correct answer. The US and the UK signed agreement on AI safety test. So the context is given here. For prelims, you should understand some basics. And what are those? See, last year, that is in 2023, there was a artificial intelligence safety summit held at Bletchley Park in England. Okay, and there was a declaration that was signed that is called Bletchley Park Declaration, and it's the first ever AI safety summit. And to tackle the challenges of AI safety, 28 major countries, including the USA, China, India, and European Union, signed this Bletchley Park Declaration. So you can expect a question. Bletchley Park Declaration recently seen in news is related to. Okay. So this is one point. Second one is frontier AI. You should be aware of this term. What is frontier AI? It is defined as highly capable foundation generative AI models that can produce realistic and convincing outputs such as text, images, audio, video, whatever you demand. Okay. So everybody came together and they said, see, we have to use AI for humanity's welfare, and this frontier AI is posing risks. What shall we do? So they discussed few things, and as a continuation, this US and UK have signed an agreement on AI safety testing. This is the context for US and UK signing this all of a sudden. And what did India say in the summit? It said that there should be a global framework for expansion of ethical AI tools, signaling a commitment to responsible AI usage. Okay, and Digital India Act 2023, which is actually in place, was also trying to do the same. Now, coming to this agreement, what did they say? What did they actually sign on? They said that the central objective is to collaborate on development of tests for most advanced artificial intelligence models, and if there's any research that's happening and you find out something, please share with us. Both the countries said the same thing. All right. So basically, research and information sharing, and to conduct joint testing exercises. All right. So those are the points that you have to remember with respect to agreement, and please do not forget this. Which of the following is not the key points of the agreement between the US and the UK? Conducting joint testing exercises on publicly accessible platforms or AI models. Yes, this is correct because they want to reduce the threat, right? So this is correct. Sharing information about AI capabilities and risks. Yes, information sharing and research sharing is a part. So this is also right. Developing AI for commercial purposes. This is not a part of their agreement. And in fact, the declaration that I mentioned spoke about developing AI for welfare of the humanity and not commercial purposes. Commercial purposes was not mentioned. Okay, so this is wrong. Exploring personal exchanges between AI safety institutes. Yes. So 1, 2, and 4 are right. They're asking you which is not the key point, right? So 3 only. C is the answer. Now, with the present state of development, artificial intelligence can effectively do which of the following? It was given in UPSC Prelims 2020. We've seen this question in detail before. Bringing down electricity consumption in industrial units, yes. Create meaningful short stories and song. Today, it can do so. Okay, it was not the scenario in 2020. Disease diagnosis, yes. Text to speech conversion, yes. This is the fifth one. Wireless transmission of electrical energy. This is also right today, not then. Okay, so 1, 3, 4 is the official key that the UPSC had given. 1, 3, and 4. Uttarakhand government wants to evaluate the risk of glacial lake outburst floods. Why? Because the rising temperatures have increased the risk of glacial lake bursts. Okay, and that actually in the year 2013 and 2021 we had a lot of turmoil that was happening. Why? Because the devastation caused in the Kedarnath Valley in the year 2013 and parts of Chamoli in 2021, one cannot forget. Therefore, the Uttarakhand government has constituted 2 teams of experts to evaluate the risk posed by 5 potentially hazardous glacial lakes in the region. Okay. And this National Disaster Management Authority, which actually operates under Union Ministry of Home Affairs, has identified 188 glacial lakes in the Himalayan states that potentially be breached because of heavy rainfall, and out of this 188, 13 of them are in Uttarakhand. All right. And what are these glacial lake outburst floods? Also known as GLOFs. Shortcut, yeah. These are disaster events caused by abrupt discharge of water from glacial lakes, large bodies of water that sit in front of or on top or on beneath a melting glacier. Okay. When the glacier withdraws, it leaves behind a depression that gets filled with melt water, thereby forming a lake. Okay. More the glacier recedes, this lake will become bigger and more dangerous, and such lakes are mostly dammed by unstable ice or sediment composed of loose rock and debris. And in case the boundary around them, if it breaks, huge amount of water rush down the side of mountains will happen, which could cause flooding in the downstream areas. This is referred as glacial lake outburst floods. Okay. So these 13 lakes, they are categorized into A, B, C category. Risk levels. High risk is category A. Okay. And out of 13, 5 highly sensitive glacial lakes fall into this A category. Okay. What are those? Those are Vasudhara, Tal. Where is it? It is in the Dhauli Ganga basin in Chamoli district. Chamoli district. And 4 lakes out of this 5, one is Vasudhara, no? The other 4 lakes are in Pithoragarh district. And what are those? Maban Lake. in Lasar Yangtze Valley, Paingru Lake. I'll write it here so that will be. So 1 plus 4. 1 is the Vasudhara Tal in Chamoli district, and out of 4, the 4 are in Pithoragarh district. What are those lakes? One is Maban Lake in the Lasar Yangtze Valley. The second one is the Pyongru Lake in the Dharma Basin, and then again in Dharma Basin there's another unclassified lake, and another unclassified lake in this Kuti Yangtze Valley. So remember the lake's name. One is Vasudharatal, Maban, and Pyongru. Consider the following statements: Maban Lake, Pyongru Lake, Kuchaman. Which of the following are an example of glacier lake in the context of India? Maban we have seen, Pyongru we have seen. This Kachaman and Sargol are saline lakes. Okay. So these and this is wrong. 1 and 2 are right. So B is the answer. In 2021 there was a question in prelims. Okay. It said with reference to India, Didwana, Kuchaman, Sargol and Khatu are the names of what? Glaciers, mangrove areas, Ramsar sites or saline lakes? It is saline lakes. Okay. So you should also remember, along with Kuchaman, Sargol, you should remember what? Didwana and Khatu. Didwana is in Rajasthan. Okay. Now, on the planet, most of the fresh water exists as ice caps and glaciers. Agreed. Out of the remaining fresh water, the largest portion is in what? Okay, so this is directly picked up from the NCERT. So oceans, as you all know, have 97% of water, and when you come to fresh water, it's given in the question that ice caps and glaciers form the highest, that is around 2%. Next, you have groundwater. Okay, so the order is glacier, groundwater, freshwater what? Lakes. Then you have atmosphere and then rivers. Alright. This is the order. Now they are asking you, after ice cap and glaciers, the remaining fresh water, the largest portion is in after a glacier. What is it in the next? What is it in place 2? So it is found in atmosphere as moisture and clouds? No. It is here, no? So immediately after glacier, you have groundwater. It is found in freshwater lakes and rivers? No. It exists as groundwater? Yes. C is the answer. This is it for today. All the best.